Good evening. Thanks a lot for the invitation. There's a lot that I wanted to say and that has been said, so I'm going to try to tell another story. Excuse me if it's not the most beautiful one, but we'll try to work it out. So first, we are all thinking about what can be an online platform, and this question is intended to define what would be the specific rules that would apply for them. What we usually say is that the definition is very difficult to delineate. Therefore, what are the rules we should say? So in the end, we're coming back to the same point. We have no clue about well, apparently we have no clue about what to do to make sure that these apps, websites, businesses work properly and deliver the good outcomes to consumers. But I'm going to come back just a little bit to the definition question, because there's a couple of insights I think that are very important and that might bring something to the debate. Funnily, we are asked tonight to speak for 5 minutes about something that I worked on for 3 months in the last summer, and in the end we drafted a report for 50 pages saying that we had no idea really about, no proper solution, that it was still an open question and that we needed some work to do. So first, asking about the definition is trying to find a box where we could put things in. As Michel Bonny said earlier, there is such a huge variety of online platforms that the box should be really, really, really big to put everything into it. And that's a puzzling exercise. Because when you start thinking about the criteria everyone invoke, you are even more puzzled. So the usual definition as economists we start from is that, as Alfonso said, it's a multi-sided intermediary. So it's an intermediary that connects different groups of users. These users are interdependent. Think of a club where you have man and woman. The more women in the club, the happier the men are, and the more men in the club, the happier the women are, because there's more choice, and this increased number of men and women makes everyone happier. So this interdependence is a striking feature of this online market, but it is, as I said, not a feature that is only related to online market, because you can go to clubs, or you can like mobile phone industry plays with this network effect a lot. So it's not defining feature. And the last key feature is that everything happens online. So when you start digging into this concept and try to see how they apply, you see that they are either too vague or too precise. And I'm just going to take one as an example. So if you think about the intermediary requirement, common sense would tell you that an intermediary is let's say a middleman that has no control, that will allow two people to meet and to trade, and that has no control over the interaction it allows. It's okay, that's fine. But the problem is, if we start applying that to platform, what do we see? There are platforms that are both as resellers and also as intermediary. Think about Amazon. You can go, you can buy products that Amazon is reselling, and you can also buy products that are sold through Amazon by other retailers. So here when you try to apply this intermediary criteria to and try to sort out what is a platform and what is not, you're asking yourself, well, is Amazon a platform? Intuitively you say yes, of course, but if you start using this concept, there are some gray areas and we are not very happy with that. Second example with this intermediary concept, you have organizations that start operating brick and mortar and then they decide to go online. So think about John Lewis in the UK or any retailer, MediaMarkt or anything. What happens there? Well, part of the activity could be considered as an online platform, part of it attracting either advertisers and consumers or attracting sellers and buyers, and part of the activity is just the normal shop you have at the corner of your street. So here again, if we think about using this concept to define what an online platform is, you get to a conundrum and you cannot do very much. So in the end of the 50 pages where we said that we were very puzzled about all those criteria, we said that there was no rigorous definition, as we highlighted many times tonight, and that it may be a problem for policy like regulation and competition policy. But I want to draw one point from the last example I took, like the John Lewis one. Here we have a brick and mortar shop, like brick and mortar organization that decides to go online. An online platform may just be businesses, services or apps or service providers in general just deciding to go online. So the choice of being online or being in the real life, let's say, is more of an organizational choice than anything. So here, maybe we could see the difficulty of defining a platform just as a hint that service, apps, and the websites that are behind those services are just normal service providers, just businesses. They just want to operate online, and that's it, because it makes them more efficient. This way of looking at things has two consequences. First, we may already have the framework to assess how they work and how efficient they work, and if we need to make them to change the rule to make them a little bit more efficient. And second, they have some specificities indeed, and we can highlight some, and we may not have the tools so far. And I'm thinking about competition law because it's my day-to-day job as an economist, and we may not have the right tools to define markets. For instance, it's very difficult. Like, think about market shares where the product has a value of 0. How do you define the market shares in value? But even though we don't have the right tools, it doesn't impede us to think about what they should be, given the framework that should be the right one for other businesses. Thank you.